Today I want to talk about the power of accountability. What is the power of accountability? Well, you heard it right. The word power and the word accountability. What are we talking about? Well, what we're talking about is creating accountabilities. And with these accountabilities, let me give you an example. So most realtors, what do? They come into the office, at least they stroll into the office 8, 9, maybe even 10 o'clock in the morning, and that's a pretty decent realtor. And then in most cases, they'll take a power lunch, and then they'll end up leaving about 3, 4, or 5 o'clock, and they'll goof around, twiddle their thumbs a little bit, maybe play on Facebook, and do all kinds of random things. However, there wasn't really a lot of effectiveness in that day. Now, in the power of accountability, this is something that's really important because a lot of people that I coach, have coached, currently coaching, we talk about this. And what is it? Well, you identify a couple of areas that are going to be highlights for your day, and you create accountabilities around that. What are some things that you can create accountabilities around? Well, how about the time you get into the office? What about working on your skills? Maybe writing out a certain script a handful of times, maybe looking at the role play, maybe the memorization of it, maybe the recording of it. How about in your prospecting? How often do you come in, you say you're gonna prospect, you're gonna make those calls, and then you don't? Or you do, but you don't always hit the number that you're wanting to hit, that targeted number, whether that be 20, 25, 30, 40, or even for that matter, 50. The question is, do you have accountabilities around that? I can continue to go through all of these different versions of accountabilities that you can create, but you have to identify, and I want you to identify what are the areas that you know that is going to make you money and build some accountability around that. Well, how do you build accountability? One of the things I'm not really fond of is that one-on-one accountability. And why? Well, from a coach's perspective, a lot of times with what I'll see is I'll see this person and this person create accountability. Hey, do you want to be my accountability partner? Yes. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and start on Monday. Well, this person doesn't end up showing up. Well, in most cases, this person ends up, maybe might perform, or for that matter, isn't quite performing as they're supposed to. What I want you to do is, instead of doing a one-on-one accountability, is create an accountability group. The ideal number of people that should be in that group should be anywhere between 4 to 6 people. Now, I don't want you having more than 6 people, and here's the reason why. When you're in an accountability group, and if you have too many people, then it starts to become a little bit of a job. Say, for example, there's 15 or 20 people, you can't keep track of everybody. However, versus going on one-on-one, when this person fails you at least have a backup person, 2 or 3. So that's why the ideal number is 4, 5, or maybe even 6. Ideally, what you'll also do is have some sort of a common goal, whether the accountability group is based on everybody showing up on time, or everybody maybe hitting their contacts, or maybe everybody calling their database, or maybe everybody going and knocking on the doors that they say they're going to do. The key is creating these accountabilities, okay? Now, when you create these accountabilities, I want you to take in consideration of a couple things. I see masterminds formed all the time. I see accountability groups created all the time. However, they fail. And a large percentage of the time, the reason that they fail is because there is no deadline. Yeah, plain and simple, deadline. Okay? Now, I'm gonna encourage you to, whether you create a deadline of a 30, 60, or even a 90-day, create it in a small window, okay? The reason for that is because when there's accountability and you don't have a deadline, maybe you go gung-ho right out the gate. Think about creating a New Year's resolution. That month of January, going to the gym, or maybe the first couple of weeks, you're gung-ho, ready to go. But all of a sudden, February, March, April comes around, and you're not as excited as you want to be. So now, with the power of accountability, if you have a group that you say, okay, for the next 30 days, we're going to focus on this. Well, now you get the opportunity to hold each other accountable in a short window. Here's the benefit. When that month or 30 days is over, you can say, let's do another 30 and another 30. Or you can do it in 60-day increments. You can do it in 90-day increments. I'm going to encourage you to keep it right in that window, 30, 60, or 90 days, not much more, because it's pretty hard. Okay, I've been there, I've done that, and it's not as easy as you think it is. Separate from that, I'm going to encourage you to create some sort of a reward system, or for that matter, a consequence. Now, with accountability, one thing I'm not really fond of is the small consequences. So what I've seen in the past is if I don't hit my contacts for the day, I'm going to pay you 10 bucks. I mean, seriously, 10 bucks? I mean, I'll pay 10 bucks to take the day off. You want it to be a number that is going to be impactful. Now, if you said $500 or $1,000 if I don't hit my contacts, that's different. Now, everybody works different. I'm not saying you have to have a consequence. What I'm saying is either a reward or a consequence. And in some cases, you can do both. I've been a part of groups where we create this accountability and we say, okay, if we do this for 30 days straight, the next time we meet, we're all going to pitch in for a lunch, a really nice lunch. Or the consequence could be for every day I don't do something, the penalty is 500 bucks, okay, as an example. So the consequence ideally is going to be something that's going to be a little bit of a challenge, something that you're really not going to want to do. So today we're talking about power of accountability. And of course, as always, I'm here for you. You can send me a message. You're welcome to look me up on Instagram. You're welcome to look me up on Facebook. I will see you at the top.